Did you know that starting this week, the way millions of Americans interact with Social Security is permanently changing, and most people have absolutely no idea it's happening? If you're 55 or older and you rely on Social Security, or you're planning to in the coming years, this video could be one of the most important things you watch all month. I want to make sure you're not caught off guard, because the folks who know what's coming are the ones who stay in control of their financial future. So go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe so you never miss these updates, and drop a comment below telling me, are you ready for this change? Let's start with something that might sound a little familiar. Think back to a time when you walked into your local Social Security office. Maybe it was in your own neighborhood, a building you'd driven past 100 times, with staff who sometimes even knew your name. There was something reassuring about that, wasn't there? A sense that your case was being handled locally, by real people in your community. Well, as of this week, and this is not a rumor, this is confirmed by the Social Security Administration itself, that local connection is shifting in a very significant way, and understanding exactly what's changing could save you time, frustration, and possibly even money. Beginning on the weekend of March 7, 2026, the Social Security Administration is rolling out what they're calling the National Appointment Scheduling System, or NASC for short. Now, that might sound like just a bureaucratic reorganization, and in some ways, it is, but the ripple effects for everyday people like you and me are very real. Instead of your local Social Security office handling your appointment scheduling and managing your case from start to finish, all of that is now being centralized through this new national system. Think of it like the difference between your hometown diner knowing your regular order versus ordering from a national call center. The food might be the same, but the experience is going to feel different. So what does this actually mean for you in practical terms? Well, first, here's the part that some people are actually excited about. For the first time, you'll be able to schedule your own initial claim appointments directly through the national system, online, on your own schedule, without having to call your local office and wait on hold. For those of you who are comfortable doing things online, this could genuinely be a convenience. But here's where I want to be really honest with you, because that's what you deserve. Experts who follow Social Security policy closely are raising some flags about the transition period. When you make a big change like this all at once, centralizing millions of cases, retraining staff, redistributing workloads across the entire country, there are almost always growing pains. And those growing pains, in this case, may mean longer phone wait times and harder to get appointments, at least for a while. The Social Security Administration has also been dealing with reduced staffing over the past year, which makes this transition even more of a delicate balancing act. I'm not saying this to alarm you, I'm saying it because if you have a pending claim, an upcoming appointment, or questions you've been meaning to ask, right now is the time to be proactive rather than waiting. Don't put it off thinking, oh, I'll deal with that next month. Get ahead of it. Write down your questions. Call your local office before the full transition settles in. Be the early bird on this one. Now, let's talk about something equally important, because the March scheduling change is just one piece of a much bigger picture for 2026. There are several financial changes that already went into effect back in January, and I want to make sure every single one of you is aware of them, because some of these changes actually put more money in your pocket, and you deserve to know that. The first one is the cost of living adjustment, which most people call the COLA. Starting in January 2026, Social Security benefits increased by 2.8%. Now, I know 2.8% doesn't sound like a huge number, but over the course of a year, it adds up. If you were receiving $1,800 a month, that's now roughly $1,850. It may not change your life overnight, but it does mean your benefits are keeping pace with inflation, and that matters, especially when grocery prices and utility bills keep climbing. For those of you who are still working while receiving Social Security benefits, and more seniors are doing this, either because they love their work or because they need the income, there's good news on the earnings front too. If you haven't yet reached your full retirement age, the earnings limit has increased to $24,480 a year. That means you can earn up to that amount without having any of your benefits withheld. That's a meaningful increase from prior years and gives working seniors a little more breathing room. Speaking of full retirement age, here's something that affects anyone born in 1960 or later. Your full retirement age has now officially reached 67. This is the age at which you can claim your full Social Security benefit without any reduction. If you claim earlier, say at 62, your monthly benefit will be permanently reduced. If you wait past 67, your benefit grows. Knowing exactly where you stand on this timeline is so important, and I'd encourage you to check your Social Security statement if you haven't looked at it recently. You can do that online at ssa.gov, and it only takes a few minutes. Now here's one that I think a lot of seniors may have missed in all the news noise of recent months. There is a new temporary tax deduction available for seniors aged 65 and older, up to $6,000, under legislation that's been making its way through Washington. Now, there are income eligibility requirements attached to this, so it won't apply to everyone, and as always, I'd recommend speaking with a tax professional to see how it applies to your specific situation. But the fact that this exists is worth knowing, because many seniors who qualify simply won't hear about it unless someone tells them directly. Consider this me telling you directly, look into it, ask your accountant, and don't leave money on the table. And finally, for those of you enrolled in Medicare, which is most of you watching this, the standard monthly premium for Medicare Part B has gone up to $202.90. That's automatically deducted from your Social Security check, so you may have already noticed your deposit looking slightly different than it did last year. It's not an error. It's the new Medicare Part B premium at work. Keeping track of these deductions helps you budget more accurately and avoid that moment of surprise when your check hits the bank. Here's what I want you to take away from everything we've covered today. The Social Security system is going through one of its biggest operational changes in years, right now, this week. Some of it brings new tools and conveniences. Some of it may bring temporary frustrations. But knowledge is your greatest advantage. When you know what's changing, you can plan. You can ask the right questions. You can avoid the pitfalls that catch unprepared people off guard. And that's exactly why you're here, because you're the kind of person who stays informed, stays prepared, and looks out for yourself and the people you love. We're just getting started, and in just a moment, I'm going to bring everything together and give you a clear, simple action plan, so stay right there, because the best part is still coming.